So you want to know what you can use when organizing with ADHD that will change your home forever? The storage cubes are what I call movable cubicles. I'm going to tell you how to exactly use them to do just that. One of the main reasons to use storage cubes is because they move and they move very easily. So have you ever been in a room and looked at it and looked at the dresser and said, I really want to move that dresser somewhere else in this room, but you don't want to go and pick up that dresser, or maybe you want to move that dresser into a different room because you just need some more space for clothes or whatever you need them for. And that can take a lot of energy and time and effort, and you just have to plan it all out. And maybe you don't want to do it by yourself because it's heavy. Now, let's take a look at storage cubes and how they're very cool. They are very light, and you can probably pick them up with one hand, or maybe really have to use two hands if they're kind of big. But generally, they're small, and then you don't have to worry about, okay, am I going to have the strength or energy to move this big dresser? You just move a storage cube and you can move it to the left side of the room, right side of the room, center, wherever. You can move it into another room because of the fact that they are made to be light and they are made to be designed to be durable. You don't have to lift and move a big, huge thing. Now, for ADHD, this is great because if you look at something and say, okay, I want to do that, but that's a lot of stuff I have to do. There's a lot to that. That's a big, huge task right now that I'm going to be doing, trying to move that thing that's heavy and that's just awkward to move. Instead, you look at your storage cube and say, hey, I feel like I want to change up the room. I want to do something different. And I want to move this because I know I need something in the other room. So now you have a storage cube that will let you do that very easily. And it's awesome because they move very easily. And another reason to use storage cubes, and they're awesome for ADHD, is because of the fact that they are adjustable. And that means you can design these storage cubes however you want. You may have a couple of storage cubes on one wall just because you want more books or clothing or whatever in that area. Or you can have like 6 or 7 storage cubes along that same wall. And then you have a line of storage cubes that you can use in that formation. Or you want something to go higher up, like you say, hey, I want to have this in this one area, but I do want to have storage cubes going higher up in that design as well. And so it really depends on what you want to do. And because you can get them and kind of just attach them together and put them in different formations, you are able to design things however you want. And I think that's important because of the fact that you might look at an area and just say, hey, I want to change that up. I just need this certain thing there. And that lets you do that when you have a storage cube. And also with storage cubes, it allows you to move things really quickly. So you don't have to worry about, okay, how much time is it going to take me? And whatever's inside, you can get out of that storage cube very quickly and then just move it to wherever you want to move it to. You don't have to sit around and think about, okay, this is going to take me like 15, 20 minutes just to move this one thing. And another thing about storage cubes is that it gives you extra space. If you're prone to having clutter in your room sometimes with ADHD, then what is good is having extra space, having it look less cluttered so you don't get the whole anxiety thing when you walk in a room. Because if there's a lot of clutter in a room, you walk in there, you just don't feel comfortable. But now you have more space to do the things you want to do. Maybe you had a lot of clutter in your room before and you couldn't kind of walk around it because all the stuff on the floor. Well, now you might have a space to put those things that were on the floor and make a home for some things as well. And also with storage cubes, you just have easier access to things. You can just reach inside a storage cube and pull out whatever you need and whatever is in there. Or if you want to move something from one storage cube to another, very easy. Go ahead and pull it out and then move it to whatever other storage cube you have, or move it to a dresser or wherever you want to move that thing that's in that storage cube. It just makes it so much easier because you don't have to sit there and open a door and look inside and see if something is inside there. You can automatically just see it and grab it and then move it to wherever you want to move it to. And I just want to make sure that you didn't miss it. Storage cubes allow you to keep things visual. You just have to look over there and see what's inside. You know that if that thing is not what you want, you know it's not in that storage cube. And so it just makes it a lot easier to find what you're looking for because you can see it all the time. You know where that thing is all the time just by looking. If you have to look around a couple different storage cubes, that's fine. You don't have to sit there and go through doors and open doors and try to see, is that thing in there? If it's not, okay, but you automatically know just by looking at the thing that, hey, that is the right thing or that is the wrong thing. Sometimes You just spend time trying to find something and looking for something. And anything that you can have that makes that thing easier is going to be awesome for you when you have ADHD. And also think about this is that you can store a variety of things inside a storage cube. It just depends on what you want to store in there and how big it is and how big the storage cube is. So if you want everything the same in there, like all your flowers or whatever in that storage cube, then you can put them all in there. If you want all books in there, then that's cool too. But if you just want to decorate and have different things in each one, that's great as well. It's whatever you want to do, however you want to design it. But the other thing about it is if you are doing decorating and want to change something out, maybe you change it out for the season, this season, fall season, spring season, winter season. You want to just change it out and change it up because that's just what you like to do. And you can do that very easily with storage cubes. Take all the stuff out that you don't want and then put everything else that you do want in there for the different seasons. And something else about storage cubes is that they are affordable. And if you're on a budget, this is a great option because of the fact that you may not want to buy a full-size table or desk. You may just want to buy a storage cube and have a few different ones and spread out in different rooms, or just one extra one in a room because you just need a little bit of space, or you just don't have as many clothes as you had before because you did some spring cleaning and got rid of a lot of your clothes or whatever. You just minimize down and now you don't have as many, and now you want to use a storage cube instead of having this big huge dresser that you have in your room now. And another thing, they are readily available as well. So whatever kind of storage cube you need, you can go ahead and find it. They come in different shapes and sizes and colors. You can always find them. They're just everywhere. I'll put some in the description below, but just get whatever you need for your house or apartment. And also just thinking about if you have a small apartment or dorm room, this is an awesome way to save space because dorms are really, really small. You feel like this when you get inside one and you have a roommate and everything, or you just have a really small apartment. So you're trying to figure out how can you save space. A storage cube will help you do that. And something that's really cool about storage cubes is that they are durable. They're generally made out of plastic, but you can get them in all different types of materials, but they're made to not be busted up and broken. And that's good because I have a tendency to drop things. You might have a tendency to drop things. So if you're moving them to another place or just moving in general and you drop one, you don't have to worry about so much if it's gonna break, or anything like that. They're generally going to survive. They're generally made to be very durable. And so that's a really good thing because then you don't have to keep going out and buying extra ones if you have bought all that you need initially. And now that you know about storage cubes, you might be looking for ways to declutter. And I don't want you to make any mistakes when you declutter. So I have a video that goes over 9 of them to avoid. And you can watch that video right here.